The federal government has given a directive to public schools and states about whether or not they should allow people to use the bathrooms that they identify with. Now, this has to do specifically with public schools, and President Obama did release a statement that, you need to make sure that transgender students are not being discriminated against and they can use the bathroom that they identify with. Attorney General Loretta Lynch also released a statement saying there is no room in our schools for discrimination of any kind, including discrimination against transgender students on the basis of their sex. Now, it's important to keep in mind that the guidance does not impose any new legal requirements, but officials say it's meant to clarify expectations of school districts that do receive funding from the federal government. Now, here's where the story has a twist that drives me absolutely crazy. Now, some of the more conservative states, including Texas, don't want to abide by this directive. And they are willing to forego federal funds for public education in order to discriminate. In fact, in Texas, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said on Friday that the state was ready to forfeit federal education money, currently about $10 billion, rather than comply with the guidance. Well, that's not surprising because the state of Texas doesn't really care about public education and doesn't really care if they're going to lose funding for it. It's not like that's their number one priority. Their number one priority is the death penalty, guns, and making sure that they can discriminate. So go Texas.
Yep. People of principle.
Well, in all fairness, I was going to say that Texas may be one of the states where not going to school will make you more educated than going to school. So maybe this is kind of an extra benefit.
That's a great point.
Yeah. They tried to write Thomas Jefferson out of our history books. Not like he's a pivotal figure or anything. Not like he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Right. They didn't like that he was too secular.
Yeah, right.
So if you don't,
they want to put in Calvin in front instead of him. Like their swap outs aren't even logical.
Yeah, they wanted to put in Phyllis Schlafly.
Oh, right, that's what it was.
Right. A conservative woman who killed the Equal Rights Amendment, right?
Yeah.
So, whose son turned out to be gay, correct? And she was a big anti-gayer.
Yeah, so that level
so
of
weird.
detail, I
I
don't
would
know,
love
but
my mother
you
if
might
she-
know if you lived in Texas because she's on the textbooks now.
Oh, that's right.
Right, but the guy who wrote the Declaration of Independence, but you know, that's the thing about education. If it's inconvenient, you should edit it out.
Right.
When it comes to history.
But you know, Cenk, all these liberals, they're just trying to indoctrinate kids at college campuses throughout the country, you know?
Right.
That's all it's
with
about.
History and truth.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
indoctrination, that's what that is.
So on the substance of the transgender bathrooms, so we've been over how absurd it is, and we've been over the fact that, in fact, of course, if a transgender person walked in and they looked male and went into the female bathroom because they were forced to by these conservatives, because that's the gender they were born into, they would flip out. They'd be like, oh my God, there's a man in the bathroom, right?